Hello. How are you doing, guys? Nice to see everyone on this Wednesday evening for Dowsing Rods. It's Dowsing Rods time. And I'm sorry, Jenny, it's not personal questions. I accidentally posted that a second ago. It's current events questions. So we can do personal questions on Friday night, though. But thank you, everybody, for being here. Let me say hello. Hi, Craig. Hi, Jenny A. I don't know that I've seen you here before. I probably have, but welcome, Chanley, Mr. Grode, and Gina Hellick. It's hump day, guys. Wednesday. Yes. And sorry, Jenny A. I apologize. But that is a good question. Save it for Friday. Come back on Friday. So tonight is our Dowsing Rods session. We do current events. I'll wait for a few people to pop in. I haven't seen the notification go up yet. Sorry, if you hear snarling, it's Henry. He's rolling around, being a dog. Snarfing, snarling. Okay, I do see the notification. So I hope that everyone starts coming in. Hi, Lois. Good to see you. Tonight is our current events questions with the old Dowsing Rods. Yes, thank you, Gina. Gina's so good at that. Sending prayers that the perfect relationship for you manifests at the right time for you. Absolutely. But we learn from our difficulty, right? So, not that I want anyone to have a difficult relationship. Sorry, I'm going to open the blinds, get a little more. There we go. Let there be light. So tonight I have a list of questions, but you guys are welcome to post your questions too, and I will star them as they come in. So thank you so much for that. I'll give a quick little demo on how my dowsing rods work. Many of you have seen this before, but I know, Gina, some of us have signed up for a lot of lessons, haven't we? But I also think you can sort of tell your guides, okay, I think I've learned the lessons. I'm ready to move on. Yes, political is okay, Kendra. Thank you. Hi, Suzanne. Nice to see you. Yeah. So political or world or spiritual or it's just that remember the limitations of the dowsing rods, and I'll chime in when I get things intuitively as well. But sometimes I'll hear a yes or no in my ear as I'm doing the dowsing rods. Hi, Liz Reeves. Are you tired of the rain yet? It's been raining in Colorado for 2+ days. It's very unusual for us. We're spoiled that way. But I'll go ahead and give you a little demo. And I just got out of the walking Henry, so my hair it looked like a nice clear spot to walk, and then it began to pour. So we sprinted the last block and a half home. All right, let it be done. I know. Everybody always says, but we needed the rain. Okay, enough. Okay, I see your question here. Kendra, thank you. Okay, Suzanne, I'm not doing personal questions tonight. I'm just doing current events. I'm doing, it can be political or world events. It could be earth events, spiritual, ETs. I love those questions. Okay, but come back on Friday. I do personal questions. Okay, all right. So I'm going to show you guys how my dowsing rods work. Hi, Polly, as people are coming in. Oh, hi, Diamond. I didn't see you come in. Thank you. So I'm going to scoot back. Sorry, you can see still. I have to stop apologizing, but those are my moving boxes. It's one of the ones that's probably going to be my last to open. Okay. So my dowsing rods, they will always look like they're open. So right now they're kind of pointing right at you, even though they look like they're a little bit open. So for me, when they cross, that's a yes. When they open, that's a no. So I'm going to just ask my guides and spirits to come forward and give us the answers to our questions for our highest good. Okay. Thank you, Gina. Okay. I found this in the back of my closet. You know, when you move and you find clothes that you forgot you had? Okay. So, guys and angels, please show me a yes. That's my yes. It's reluctant. Okay, please show us a no. There we go. Okay, come back to the center. There we go. All right. So I'll start with some of my questions, and then I also have a few questions of yours starred. So I was going to start. Now, I don't know if this is going to apply to everyone because we do have a number of Canadians and people from other countries here. But, well, you know who is at the top of everybody's mind right now. So I have questions. Okay, let me see if I can set this up so I can actually see them. There we go. Oh, okay. Suzanne Grisby Grisby was I visited by ET or Spirit Night too? Well, let's see if we get to that one. Okay, thank you. But that might fall into the personal category. Okay. So I was going to start with the economy. Here in the U.S., there have been lots of warnings about the supply chain issues. So, well, the first question I would have is, are we going to have some issues with empty shelves due to the supply chain? And, oh, sorry, that was a yes. I was going to take this banner down, but if you guys could please help to let people know what we're doing today when they come in, if I miss. Thank you, Gina. Okay, so that was a yes to supply chain issues. Sorry, I bobbled it because I was trying to take down that. Okay, are we... Okay, all right. Will we have, will we be short on staples like certain foods? That's a yes. Okay, interesting. Okay. Will we or is it advised for Americans to stock up on food in their pantries? Yes. Okay, I've asked this before, but I feel like we're getting really close to that happening. Do we have an economic downturn, further economic downturn coming soon? That was a yes. And Amanda said there was some nice footage of a hexagonal-shaped UFO recently off the coast of California. Was it Arcturian? Okay, I like that question. I'm going to start. And okay, Gina says, will the shortages last? And you can add your questions to my line of questioning too, if you think of it. Will the shortages last for many months? Okay. See, it's sort of like a smaller yes. I don't know if you can tell. It looks big on the screen, but it's just a little bit. Will the shortages last more than 2 months? That's a yes. Okay. Will the shortages last 3 months? It's sort of barely crossing, honestly, so I think we're maybe just going into the 3rd month. Will the shortages begin during May? That's no. Will the shortages begin in June? Look at that. That's a yes. Okay, so guys, you have this month. Those of you who are in the US, you have this month. to stock up on provisions. Okay. Make sure you have, you know, canned goods and those kinds of things. Um, but really, you know, I went and renewed my, you know, any prescriptions. I had my husband do that, dog food, cat food, all that kind of thing. Okay, Amanda. No worries. We'll see you when you come back. All right. I want to ask a sort of tangential question. Will we suffer any power outages during this time? Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Uh-oh, when's your birthday? You're Cancer, aren't you, Liz? We'll buy your presents now. Okay. Will these outages be widespread? No. Okay. Will these be local or regional? That's a yes. It's not like wildly, you know, answering really, really, um, you know, vehement. So I feel like we will have some power outages. Will we have any other um, uh, natural disasters that cause these? Yes, that will cause these outages. Okay. Will power outages occur, gotcha, Kendra, in the bigger cities? Yes. Will we see power outages in New York City? That's a yes. In Washington, D.C.? That's a yes, too. Okay. Let's go to the other coast. San Francisco. No. LA. No. Liz asks, will heat waves cause power outages? Yes. Good question. Will Chicago experience power outages? There's a yes. Oh, okay. Thanks, just visiting. I got that question that you sent on my channel as well. Okay, we'll get to that in just a moment. Any other thing we want to ask about, like supply chain or power outages or things that we need to do, provisions? Should we keep candles and water on hand? That was a very quick yes. Okay, so there you have it, guys. There's some good websites too for, you know, having, you know, kind of list of some things that we should have on hand if we do experience these outages or food shortages. I just want to ask this: should we keep water bottles available? Yes. Oh, that was a big one. Okay. So I know a lot of people don't like plastic, and I get it, but maybe some of those big 5-gallon water bottles. Yes. Batteries and solar chargers. Yes. I've bought a few of those life straws too. I know that seems a little extreme, but you can actually draw water through them from streams and it cleans them. It cleans the water thoroughly, like 99.9% of stuff. Okay. I'm going to star some of these questions. Thank you, Teresa. That's a good question. Will these power outages last more than a few days? You know, what I'm hearing is like some, see how it was slow to go there? Some may, but I think most of them will be brief. Look at that. Look how it's now gone out. All right, that's interesting. Should we grow our own vegetables? They're saying, I'm hearing, yes, like we should do that anyway. I think because of it's just healthier and fresher. Okay. Oh, do we have pain medication? Will the shortages with pain medications grow worse? Will the pain medication? Uh-oh. Look at that. Okay. Liz is asking, do we have any travel risks? Will we have any travel risks? Yes. A very strong yes. Some of you may have heard that in the US, the Newark airport, the former air traffic controllers are leaking that it's not safe to fly into that airport. And I am curious if any airport's really safe to fly into right now. Okay. Oh, smart, Craig. He has a few cases of MREs or military rations. Yeah, you can go if you have like a camping supply store. They have, um, those like ready meals, kind of like MREs. You just add water and heat them up. Yes. Kendra. Yeah, I do too. Hi, Christine. Okay. Yes. I know. I let me ask the question, Liz. You said I'm getting concerned. Should we be concerned for our safety? Do you see when they waggle? Moving together. They're not crossing, but they're like, be cautious, be careful, just be smart, I think. I don't think, do we need to panic? Nope. Yeah. Oh, Craig, you're right. You're Native American, Hispanic too, will not travel to any red state. That's right. You should keep all your military and your passport and all of your paraphernalia, all your IDs for that. And hello, Fatima. Good to see you. And yeah, I've just bought. I'm kind of a weirdo, but for months I've been buying like canned goods, canned beans, rice. I've bought a lot of like dried beans and peas and stuff like that too. So yes, Suzanne, they are putting additives. Okay. I like your question, Dorella. I'm putting it on here. I actually have that question on my list. Hey, Dorella. All right. I'm just going to star a few things and then keep on going. I'll start to answer some of your questions. Yes, lentils make good soup. Yeah, don't panic. Just buy what you need. And I don't think that the shelves will ever be 100% bare. I just think you may not get the things that you're used to getting. So I'm just going to answer some of the questions that you have posted, but I have a whole bunch more too. Okay. Kendra asks, does RFK have good intentions with his autism database? That's kind of a soft no. It keeps going out. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Is RFK correct about vaccines and autism? No. But there is like this one's sort of semi-forward. So I think now just went back. I think that there are, I think sometimes there are things you can do with people who are more sensitive. Like don't give all the shots at once. Maybe stagger them a little more. They used to stagger them more when we were babies, and I'm old. Suzanne, this is sort of a personal question, but I want to ask it anyway. I visited by an ET 2 nights ago. Things were moved in the living room. That's a no. Was I visited by a spirit 2 nights ago? That's a no, too. Did someone in the house move it without remembering that they moved it? There you go. I'm sorry. I like to hear about ETs and such. Okay. Let me see if I have anybody else that I've just missed. Thank you, Dorella, for asking about the like button. A man who was a drug user in charge of that agency. Isn't that crazy, Craig? I know. It's like I can make my mistakes and mess up my brain, but nobody else can. I just think it's crazy. I like some of his policies on, additives and stuff to the food, seed oils, those things. I do, but the rest of it just goes way out there, and he's using data I think that's not accurate. Okay. Just visiting. That is what we did for mine. Spread out the vaccines. Your son is autistic and you're concerned. Okay. I'm going to ask that question really quickly, Kendra. Do people with autistic children have to worry about an autism database? No, I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Dorella says, will Canada be the 51st state? That's a hell to the no. Christine, did I see a UFO in the sky when I was flying home at 3 a.m.? Yes, you did. Whoa. Yeah. Kendra, I want to say about autism. First of all, have you watched or listened to the telepathy tapes on podcast? Amazing. But I have always believed that autism is it's kind of the beginning of the next, evolution of man. Because they understand things that we don't, and they're just not as in touch with their 3D bodies. That's my feeling. Okay, Dorella says, does Baron wear a a bulletproof vest? Yes, he does. Okay. All right. So I had a few more questions in here, and then I'm going to go to my long list of questions too. So Amanda asked about the hexagonal-shaped UFO recently off the coast of California. Was the hexagonal-shaped UFO Arcturian? Was it a UFO? Was it a... Yes. Was it a UFO that was flown by extraterrestrials? That's a yes. Was it Arcturian? Was it Arcturian? No. Was it Palladium? Sorry, Henry's digging. Yes. He's trying to get a comfy spot. Okay. Let me see if anybody else here. All right. Do Melania and Donald sleep together? I think we all know that answer. Do Melania and Donald sleep together? Ew. Do they sleep together every night? I didn't mean to be so disgusted. There's a no. Okay. Do they sleep together out of obligation sometimes? Sorry. Oh, I need bleach for my eyes. That is terrible. Okay. Will Doge get away with compiling a database of everyone's SS numbers, compiling medical records and IRS? Okay, I have this. I'm going to pause this one. I'm not going to answer this one right now because I have that on another list. Okay, I will get to it, but thank you, just visiting. Will Putin keep blasting Ukraine? Yes. But see, it's really light. Look at this. It won't cross any further than just the tip. So I think it's going to be coming to an end pretty soon. Okay. I'm sorry, everybody. I know we spoiled your dinners with that the Melania and Trump visual. Yes, you're right, Craig. It's all about the bucks. Space Cowboy, we're not answering personal questions tonight. Thank you. Okay, and Lois, I'm going to add yours to a list. Okay, I have a few more that some of you have asked, and I will get to those right now. And I have this on my list, but let's go ahead. I'm going to ask some questions about the election and about Trumpy Trump. Okay, will the American people oust the current government by the end of 2025? That's a yes. Okay, I'm going to ask my questions that I had really quickly here. And Dorella, you have a similar question too. Will the Election Truth Alliance, if you're familiar with those people, look them up. They're on YouTube. They have all kinds of evidence about election tampering. Will the Election Truth Alliance prevail in causing recounts? Yes. I believe they have several lawsuits right now against Pennsylvania or asking Pennsylvania to recount. If yes, will recounts reveal the election fraud? Did you see it started to even move before I got there? Yeah. Okay. Will Trump be, this is Dorella's question. Will Trump, this is all for entertainment purposes only, right? Will Trump be president through the end of 2025? Look at that. That's a no. And then Dorella's follow-up question, will Donald Trump be alive at the end? Well, you said at the end of his second term. Will he be alive by the end of this year? He will still be alive. Okay, will he be alive by the end of his second term? It depends on what the end of the second term is, though, right? Okay. Okay. I might have just deleted somebody's question. I'm sorry. Will Israel allow food and water aid into Gaza and the West Bank? That was eventually. See, when they wiggle waggles like that. Oh, okay. Hold on. It may take me a second to add a moderator. Give me 2 seconds. I have to do it on my phone. But think of some questions while I'm doing that, okay? Talk amongst yourselves. Does anybody remember that from SNL? Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I have to turn the volume all the way off. All right. Let's see. There we go. Anybody else want to be a moderator while I've got it up? Okay. Dorella, will Donald give Elon a pink slip? Will he fire him? Will Donald fire Elon? Yes. Yes. Coffee. Yes. Coffee talk. It was a skit on SNL by Mike Myers, and he dressed up as a Jewish lady, and they would be talking, and they would have coffee in Brooklyn. So it was a great skit. It was Mike Myers. Look it up. Coffee talk. Coffee talk. Okay. All right. I think we know the answer to this one. Dorella, is Elon's Tesla a sinking ship? Yes, it is. Okay. Um, oh, she does that too. I always hear her with sort of like a Brooklyn type of accent. I don't know if she's from there. Okay. That's in my question. So here we go. We're going to that. Um, my last question was, will the recounts reveal election fraud? Yes. It's kind of hesitant, wasn't it? But I think it will. It's going to go in fits and starts, I think, as they get the local governments to. Okay. If, all right, will Trump be, I already asked this. This is a question I've had and I've seen in my visions. Will Humpty Dumpty be forcibly removed from office by military or paramilitary? Look at this, guys. Jenny asks, will the negative changes against the trans community be stopped? Slow, yes. I think they have to be gone first. Here's Dorella's question. Will JD become president if Trump is removed after? Okay, let me ask that again. Assuming election fraud is discovered and Donald Trump is removed, will JD Vance become president? No. Will Donald Trump be impeached? Yes. And I'm hearing too that that's going to be like secret votes. Like it's going to be kind of like under the table. It feels like they have to do it secret and in secret. By the way, the other thing I had seen, I wanted to ask if he will be sick. Let me ask that real quick. Will Trump become sick this year? Okay. And I know a lot of people are talking about dementia again with all this crazy nonsense about opening Alcatraz and that sort of thing. I saw, okay, I saw the potential for a stroke. Like he goes into one of those rages when things start to heat up and they start to come down on him with the election interference, that it's like too much. And I saw it like in parallel with how Hitler was said to have had a stroke, or something like that when they were closing in on him. So I saw it like that, as if Trump might actually stroke out. But I don't think he will die from it. Okay. All right. I see a few questions I missed. Yes, you're right. Just visiting. He can't become president if they were elected on the same ticket and it was found to be fraudulent. Just visiting. Oh, okay. Dorella said, will the Department of Education be abolished? No. I'm getting no. Should all kids be learning A1? Just kidding. Do you know? Look that up. Did you guys see that Linda McMahon, the head of the Department of Education, thinks that A1 is AI is called A1. Also, I wanted to say one other funny thing. Yeah, Hitler had Parkinson's. Yes. I'll ask that, Gina. I'm going to star a few questions. But there was something I don't know if it was a joke or if it's real, but apparently, according to somebody posted this on Blue Sky. I'm starring questions. Hi, dearly not so departed. I haven't seen you here before. Welcome. Um, and just visiting. Okay, I got a few of your questions starred. What was your bad language? I didn't see it, Liz. Okay. But what I wanted to say is there was something on Blue Sky where Linda McMahon, who's the head of the Department of Education, sent some poorly written letter to the head of, I guess the president of Harvard, asking them to, I don't know, explain why they're admitting foreign students who are unqualified and taking federal dollars to whatever. She's crazy. Yes, she's from the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. The letter was really terrible. And so perhaps it was a joke, but I hope it was real. There, it says that they took the letter at Harvard and they marked it up with a red pen, like checking grammar and all that kind of stuff, and sent it back to her. I mean, you can't make it up. Well, thanks for joining us, dearly not so departed. Nice to see you. All right, so somebody just asked these questions, and I will keep on. So Gina was asking about mental health. Okay, is Trump's mental health declining? Yes, it is declining. Yes. Is some of his erratic behavior because of his mental health? Yes. Okay. Let me ask this question really quickly. Will Donald Trump succeed in reopening Alcatraz for a detention center? No, but I'm hearing like he's going to try. He's going to try because he does not like being told no. Will the Muskrat's Starlink company go belly up? Will Starlink go belly up? No. But it's kind of sitting not fully out. So maybe there's something that'll happen that will have to change. Imagine how much good he could do for the world with that technology. Instead, he chooses to be, I don't know, just a horrible person. Okay, Kelly, if two Trumpsters are married and get a divorce, are they still cousins? Oh God. Okay, that's a funny one. I'm just gonna let that one sit there. Will there be another assassination attempt? Will there be another assassination attempt? That's a big ol' yes, Dorella. Allegedly. There were a couple people caught recently with stockpiles of weaponry. Kendra asks, will he flee the country after he's ousted? You see how it bounced around? He will try, but it's sort of on a soft no. It's almost like he'll get caught, packing his bags. That's when I think all the marshals will come in and take him. Will the Orange Menace be decertified and stripped of both his presidential terms? Will he be decertified? That's a yes. Will he be found to be an illegitimate president for both of his terms? Will he be found to be an illegitimate president for this term? Yes. Okay. I just don't think we're going to know about the other one, but I think that there was some election tampering there too. Will we have an interim president? Yeah, that's one of my questions. Will we have an interim president? Yes. Will Kamala become president? That's what I always get. And then, will we have a new election? Yes. It's as if they have to throw out all the votes because of how messy it is. Anyway. Okay. Okay. Question is, will we are we in a or will we be in a constitutional crisis? Yes. Will GOP members be removed when the Trump administration is removed? Yes. Because I think they just have to cast a really broad net. That's why they're taking so long. Will Musk be charged with stealing data? Yes. Will Musk attempt to escape this country? Yes. Will any of them be charged with treason? Yes. I think they will. It feels like it's going to take a while, though. Like this case is going to take years to put together. All right. Kendra asks, will Bernie Sanders ever run again? Will Bernie Sanders ever run again? No. No. Do Melania, I'm not going to pop these up because it's too disruptive. Do Melania and Tiffany get along? Do Melania and Tiffany get along? Yeah, so. It's a little cross. I don't think they really care one way or another about each other. Will AOC or Cory Booker ever be president? Will AOC ever be president? Right now, yeah, that's a no. Will Cory Booker ever be president? That's a yes on Cory. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if the marshals will just follow Trump, Craig. I think certain ones are put into place who are impartial. Okay. I don't know if that's the same question, just visiting. I'll ask it again. Will he flee the country before he's actually ousted? No. I think they're watching him like a hawk. When will we find out about the election fraud? Now that's a good question. Let's see if we can narrow it down. I feel like it's really going to heat up like second half this summer. Okay. Will we find out about the election fraud this month? Look, it's moving closer. Look at that. Okay. Will we find out about election fraud in June? Will we find out about election fraud in June? Oh. Hi, Chanley. I'm not doing personal questions tonight, but come back on Friday. We'll do them. We'll do that then. Okay. So June, will the administration, will the Oval Office be cleared out in June? No. Will they be removed in July? See, it's just right at the tip. So maybe like at the end of July. Will it be more in August? July. They're saying, these are saying July. Wow. I don't think Donald will regret trusting Elon because he got his money and he got put in office. It held him off from some of the other crimes. Can I ask a quick question here that came to mind concerning it? Trump is what was his name? Jack Smith. Is Jack Smith working on this as an international case? That was a wishy-washy yes. So sort of. Okay. Will he bring his cases that he closed back to the US when that's a yes. Okay. Does Ivanka pay attention to her father anymore? Does Ivanka pay attention to her father anymore? Not so much. I think Ivanka probably has more brain cells than the rest of them, and I think she's scared. I think she knows that this is bonkers. Will any of the money F-45 and Fleon stole be returned to the US? Okay. Will any of the money they stole be returned to the US, the public? Yes. That's good. Will there ever well, let's just go take that back. Did they actually steal has the money left US shores? Yes. Oh, I was hoping it would be a no. But it might be sitting in some like offshore accounts or something. Will there ever be universal health care in the US? That is a yes. We need it, don't we? Yes. Will we see universal health care in the next 5 years? Look, it's close. 8 years. Okay. Thank you, Gina. Yes. I'm taking just current events questions right now. Liz Reeves, Craig says, I sent about 200 in donations to the DNC, Greenpeace, women's rights. In your Republican buddy's name. Now he gets their email. Oh my gosh. Craig, you are so funny. That's a great idea. What I was thinking about doing on a similar line is my stepfather is, he just swallows everything that Fox News dishes up for him. And he just walks around spouting things that he's starting to watch people on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, that's even worse because a lot of those conservative YouTubers are terrible. And I was thinking about sending him links to click on that are from the other angle, but it'll change his algorithm on his iPad so that he'll start getting other stuff and come and say, oh, did you know that they're doing this? Because he doesn't believe they're doing any of this stuff. They don't believe they're deporting Americans and all that kind of stuff. Okay, does Donald pay Ivanka's mortgage? No, I don't get that. I didn't get that at all. Okay. He said, I think one day he'll thank you in his prayers from your friend. Will Donald's cabinet members resign? Will any cabinet members begin to resign soon? Very soft little yes. I want to ask about Rubio. He always looks like he's going to be sick to his stomach whenever I see him. Does Rubio know this is wrong? Look at that. Is Trump holding something over Rubio that he can't leave? Yes. Does Pam Bondi, the AG, know that what she's doing is wrong? Are they blackmailing her as well? Yes. I'm not feeling sorry for any of them. I mean, they're adults. They can make decisions and face the music if okay, will 45 of Leon's assets be seized and put back in the government coffers? Okay. Will 45 and Leon's assets be seized once okay, let's ask one at a time. Will 45's assets be seized? Yes. Will Leon's assets be seized? No. For 45, I'm seeing it's more like the Dogecoin and all that kind of stuff. I'm not seeing, I think Leon's yeah. I don't think he's keeping the money in his own pocket. I think he's giving it to Trump or giving it to Putin or somebody. Okay. Oh, I don't know if this is true. Will Barack and Michelle get divorced? That's a no. I think there was a rumor circulating because she didn't show up to the funeral, Jimmy Carter's funeral. Okay, let's see. Hi, Joyful Journey. I'm going to ask, I have a couple more questions here. And Kendra, I see, Inderell, I see your questions. Yes, Liz Reeves. Has anyone seen Hysteria on YouTube? It's two women who just mock some of these crazy men like Stephen Miller. We should ask about Stephen Miller. Okay. All right. I asked if some GOP members will be removed. Will Musk be charged with stealing data? Yeah, will Musk be charged with stealing data? Whoa, Lord have mercy. That one almost took an eye out. Okay. I think I asked that, but that was a big yes. Okay. I wanted to ask something about the judges because I don't know if anybody heard, but Stephen Miller has asked that he's filing suit against some of the judges or seeing if they can move the court system under the administration, under the administrative or the executive branch, which is absurd. Okay. I'm going to say not going to happen, but I'm going to ask the questions. Will the executive branch be moved under the Trump administration? No. Will the Supreme Court justices ever stand up to the Trump administration's assault on judges? Yes. They don't like it. Will the courts oh, okay. Will we see Roberts come out against the Trump administration? A slow yes. So he's the Chief Justice. Okay. Michelle's not trans. I don't think so. Oh my gosh. Will Letitia get convicted of mortgage fraud? Will Letitia get convicted of mortgage fraud? No. They're going to try. Will college become affordable for everyday people someday? Will college become affordable for everyday people someday? That's a slow yes. Is the need for college for everyone being changed? Is it going away? Because in the 80s we started saying everyone needs a college. education, and then the trades began to suffer. So will college education for everyone sort of wane? Yes. Okay. All right. Will the speaker be removed? Will Mike Johnson be removed? Yes. Will Mike Johnson be removed as the Speaker of the House when members of Congress are removed for helping Trump steal the election? Will Mike Johnson be removed for helping Trump steal the election? It was a very slow yes. I think it will eventually come out, but I don't think it's why he's removed. Will this scheme that F-45 and Leon are up to, Leon, regarding tariff deals, in conjunction with requiring said deals to sign up for Starlink? Oh, yes, that's right. They were telling other countries to sign up for Starlink. Will this relief from tariff deals to sign up for Starlink fly? No. It's just awful. Yes, he's a thief. He's stealing our data. Hi, Susie Q. Oh, yes. Iran and Pakistan are now firing weapons at each other. Will Iran or Pakistan use nuclear weapons? This is not a question that has been decided yet. Okay. We have to just send our prayers. Will Elon have another child? Yes. Half his kids don't really like him anyway, so whatever. Okay. Will Iran and Pakistan, will that turn into a full-fledged war? Will they break out into a full war? That's kind of like close. No. A little bit. Will the innocent people sent to El Salvador, this is Lois, sorry, welcome. Will the innocent people sent to El Salvador be brought back safely to the US? That's a yes. I think it's going to take till the end of the year, though. Does Melania live in the White House full time? No, not even Trump does. Okay, that's a no. Will there be a real truce between Ukraine and Russia? Let's say in the next 3 months, will we see a real truce between Ukraine and Russia? That's a yes. Let me ask this question. Is Putin going to be removed from power soon? One way or the other? That's a yes. Is Putin ill? Is he terminally ill? Yes. Will Putin be on this earth plane by the end of this year? No. Ooh, there we go. Kendra asks, will aliens intervene with nuclear war? Will they intervene with nuclear war? Yes. Very good. Amanda, and will they be safe in the something? I didn't get the rest of your question. Okay, so Putin is leaving. Let's just confirm. Is Putin leaving the Earth plane this year? Indeed, he is. Look at that, guys. Will Will Russia get away with some of Ukraine's territory? It's a little bit. I don't understand how that will happen. Will the FDA continue food safety regulations? Oh, that's a good question too. Will the Food and Drug Administration in the U.S. they've gutted the departments? Will the Food and Drug Administration continue food safety regulations? Okay, how about if we ask, are they lacking in their food safety regulations right now? That's a little yes. I feel like they're doing what they can. Just okay. It was going to be, will the folks return to the US be safe here? Will the folks who are in El Salvador prison be returned after their return, will they be safe here? Yes. I Liz asks if I have watched the comedian Cliff Cash. He's really great. I have to watch that. He's organizing demonstrations. Let me write that name down. Cliff Cash. Okay. I like that. Okay. Because I feel like by late summer, July, August, like things are gonna be like unraveling fast. Okay, his special is called The Long Road. Okay, everybody, go find him. Cliff Cash, The Long Road. You said it's on YouTube or Netflix or something? Okay. All right. Um, let's see. And I wanted to ask one more line of questioning about the shift. Okay. Are we currently in are we currently experiencing what's called the shift? Yes. Yes. Are we in the middle of it now? Yes. Will the chaos that we're currently experiencing in the world be finished in 2026? It's not quite. Do you see how it kind of comes together, but it doesn't quite touch? Will we see the chaos in the world ending by 2027? Yes. Okay. Okay, I'll explain the shift. So the shift is what, well, if you read any of Dolores Cannon's books or any like a shift in spirituality from 3D into 5D. So part of what people believe we're seeing is that we're moving into a more spiritual time where we're kinder and we're more empathetic and we can more telepathic in our way of being, that we're more in touch with our spirituality and our higher good and all that stuff. And so our higher beings, our higher self. And so the shift is this messy middle. Let's see. Yeah, it's this just visiting. It's this messy middle where the people who are kind of really benefiting from the old ways, like the haves and the has-nots. Yes, the ascension to 5D, the new earth. This is talked about by Dolores Cannon. It's talked about by Eckhart Tolle. A lot of spiritual leaders talk about how we're at the end of what is considered to be I believe 24,000 year yuga shift there. This was, I might have the years wrong. Maybe it's 6,000. I don't know. But this has been talked about by cultures around the world about a shift and a change. It's kind of what people talked about were end times, but they're not end times. They're changing. We're changing from this Kali Yuga, as it's called, is considered to be the most harsh, the most difficult, the most inhumane time of Earth. And we've just started moving out of it. And what happens is the people who are invested in those old ways are acting out. They like it the way they like the power structure, the power struggle. They like the haves and the have-nots. And so they're saying this is at the end of each yuga shift, we see this violence, we see earth changes, all of those things. So am I frozen? Okay. Susie Q, sorry about that. I hope you can see me now. Yeah, so they're holding on tight to the power struggle, this power structures, because they've got all the gold, they've got all the coins, they've got all the power, they've got all the things, and they've become twisted in believing that that's the best. That's a better way to be. That's what the Federalist Society is. That's what Opus Dei is. These are these secret societies that we believe are leaving us. So, yes, right. And so, like when they talk about the flood, apparently throughout the millennia, many yugas, and as at the end of each yuga cycle, which is thousands of years, we see these really violent outbursts, and so maybe it's quite possibly the reason for the flood and the end of the great flood, Noah's Ark flood. It's quite possible, possibly the reason for the end of the Atlantean culture, and the Lemurian cultures. And so this is what that's about. Oh, I just got a ringing in my ear. Wow, that's crazy. They're like ding ding ding. So anyway, but the good news is, even though we're at the bottom of the trough, there's only one way up now, because these are like spirals. The world works in spiraled time, and we pass the same. Things work in cycles, right? Eckhart Tolle from Gina. I was watching Eckhart Tolle live last night, and he said life on Earth has gone extinct 5 times. He feels there's hope for us, right? And that's what I think those yuga cycles were. Exactly, Gina. So very cool. I know, it's really interesting stuff, guys. I'm reading a book right now, and I don't have the name of it, but it really talks about the yuga cycles and how all these cultures around the world, the Hopi cycles, the Lakota, the Indian cycle, Indian lore, I should say their lore speaks of these things. And so when we reached that 2012 point that everybody said was the end of the Earth, it was just the start of the decline of the Kali Yuga. And that's spelled Y, I think it's Y-U-G-A. Y-U-G-A. I think this is called the Kali Yuga. Yeah, I'm going to just post that. Yes, he's on live worldwide. So Yuga. It's very, very interesting stuff. And so while it seems a little bit scary, because it does seem apocalyptic, it is in a way apocalyptic, but it's changing everything. It's changing everything. So thank you. Okay. He is on live worldwide every so often. Yeah, he has it. He comes on YouTube from time to time too. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me, guys. This is a needed change. You're right, Kendra. It's a needed change, and I think if we all hold space and really kind of keep the vibration high, and for hopes that we'll find a more compassionate, kinder world. Um, I think maybe we might actually be able to make that happen, right? Make this transition a little bit easier. So, okay. Thank you so much, guys. Come join me on Friday evening I'm in Mountain Time, so 5 p.m. Mountain. And I'm so excited to have shared. Hopefully, we'll track these answers and see if they come true. My dowsing rods have never failed me yet, except for the election, but I don't think that they did fail me then, if you know what I mean. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.